Bob.
Wow.
Hey everyone.
What's up?
We're running a little late because we had to record an AQ6 episode this morning. We gave ourselves an hour, and I guess it took an hour and a half.
Yeah, we always, if you put microphones in front of us, we can just talk until basically we
Right.
collapse.
Yeah, that's good.
So, you know, it's really good. Things are going so well in the country, and
Yeah.
I'm like, if
feel
only we had like a voting update bill that would make everything work better from a voting perspective in this country. If only we had that, you know. But what we do have is the Save America Act, which is complete bullshit. It is literally the Republican Party trying to steal the election. That is what
How
this
come no
whole thing
Save
is.
Ferris Act? Anybody? No?
I saw the movie,
Save Ferris,
and
nice.
he was fine.
He was fine. Oh, yeah, I guess he was fine.
But
Hold on.
they're doing it right out in the open, Ian.
The people don't know what day it is.
Yes,
okay?
it's Wednesday.
They don't know. It's Wednesday, my dudes. It is
My
March
dudes.
25th,
March 25th. already.
2026. It is
Jesus,
12:35, and today we're going to be talking about topics. I wrote that wrong.
Topsis.
Topics and
And
TikToks.
TikToks.
We have a bunch of topics. I didn't get a time to
Is
fill
that
it
like
out.
TBD?
TBD, yeah, you'll
Yeah.
find out, and you just sit here. We're not talking about Project Hail Mary, but the AQ6 episode
was about Project Hail Mary.
was about Project Hail Mary, which will be coming out as soon as possible. Please, Rob, edit that. Thank you. We will also we will email you about that. Those fucking guys. Yeah. There's a lot of those fucking guys.
Yeah, are we gonna get the Project Hail Mary AQ6 out ASAP?
I think that's what. Yeah, the first
That's
one that's
the
going to
point.
come out of
Yes.
this season 2, of season new.
Yes, we're full of topics, Christian.
We're
We have
so
topics.
Christian.
Topics
Christian.
falling out
How's
of our
it going,
pockets.
Christian?
Christian Yubeki.
Christian, I have one question for you.
No,
Is there
we can't
any
talk about it?
Is there any robot updates
Oh.
that are worthy of talking about? Because I need some robot progress. Right? You guys feel the same way?
Why not?
Robot progress.
No,
Progressive robots?
I want to know is like, are we closer to getting robots
You
that
want
can
woke robots?
You know,
Just say, Jay, you want a sex bot.
no,
Just
I
say.
don't.
He didn't
I don't.
say it. He didn't
No,
say
I
it.
mean it was when I was 20 maybe, but now it's like I'd rather have one that can make me dinner. To be honest with you.
Would you rather have a robot that could make you dinner, or would you rather have the Cherry 2000 robot?
I'd have to do research on Cherry 2000.
Yeah.
That's from that movie.
I know, but I haven't seen it in 30 years. I don't remember the
I mean, I
details.
think I'd go with the dinner one. I don't have a problem with
leaning
that.
towards
Dinner bot.
robot progress is crazy.
Yeah, but
Is
that
it?
can mean good or bad. You know, because lately I've been seeing videos of robots like spazzing out. You know, and they fall down, and their head pops off. You ever see those videos?
Perfect timing, because I have that exact video for us. Here's
Here's
robots.
the robot dancing.
working. Oh wait, hold on. TikTok can't.
Robots
see it. Hold on.
working
Stand by for
overtime.
TikTok.
His 2025 talk is already out of date.
Of course it is.
It's
Nice.
So true. Okay, there you go. TikTok. Now you can see it. Here we go. Stand by.
have to decide
Bing
on
bong bing.
I know, Christian. We might be going to Dragon Con. We don't know yet. We're trying to make it work. Yeah, this was the one.
And it just keeps going.
Her trying to control it.
It's like an old
I
vaudeville
love that she's
actor.
filming it too, because she's like, oh god.
Marty, get off the
That
stage.
is a metaphor for our modern society.
Although she might be using an app to power it off. Now that I think of it.
Marty,
might-
time's up. Marty,
She has two phones.
the next act is coming on.
Oh my God.
Look at this thing.
Technology
actually
out
fighting.
of control.
This is exactly what it's like interfacing with my 10-year-old.
Yeah.
We'll be watching TV and she'll be dancing in front of the TV.
Yeah, you wish they had off buttons.
No.
Yeah, how come there is no big switch? That's crazy. Nobody engineered this. It engineered
Yeah,
itself.
don't they have an app?
I mean, that's probably what she's on. I think she's on an app.
I mean, if
That's
it
what
takes
she's
that
doing.
long to turn off the robot that might karate chop someone in the neck,
And look, they really have to use some muscle to hold it back.
Wow, man.
That's kind of, it's probably not super loud.
Wow, why? But it's true. Why isn't there a big red button on his back that auto turns it off? Or like, remember the little guys in Star Wars? You bonk them on the head
Yeah.
and they collapse down.
yeah,
It's screaming,
We're
don't
getting
turn me
there.
off. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's like I'm finishing my routine, yo.
Yeah, it's like, I got to do it. Oh,
Oh, it's just pretending.
that's it. Yeah, just stop. It's waiting. Lurking.
Well, I
Oh,
do
really?
I
So
do
that's-
love though that there's a robot in the fast food restaurant, whatever that is. I
It's a
like it.
hot
I
pot
like it. I want to
restaurant,
see
too.
them.
It's
I
hot
want.
pot. Look, there's like hot soup right here on the bottom.
When it opens and it hits something and
yeah.
straws go up, I think that's hysterical.
Yeah, that
I don't know what the physics why the physics of that makes me laugh, but
I don't know why they thought that was going to be a good idea.
Yeah,
You
right.
know?
a karate chop
Let's have
robot.
a dancing robot in the middle of a crowded
yeah,
restaurant
it-
with lots of breakable
Yeah, hot
objects all
soup.
around.
It seemed a
know,
little
it's
bit
like-
too
And
tight.
hot soup, yeah.
Crazy.
The one where the robot hits the deck and then it literally spazzes out.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to get itself up or balance itself, but maybe it doesn't know it's on the floor. That one is
Yeah, as
also
Christian
funny.
said, we're in a golden age of robot gone haywire
Yeah.
video.
Golden
Yep,
shower
that's
age.
right.
Because I guess we're right in that sweet spot where they're like very capable, but they're not quite nailed down
Yeah,
yet.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find some good ones. Send us some good ones, Christian.
I mean, humans are
put
barely
hot
nailed
names.
down. All right, let's see. So we got some other fun things. So I think, did we talk about last time about boner pills? I don't know why I need to
No.
bring it up. But I think at some point we did, because there was
Yeah.
a recent FDA study about boner bear honey recalled for dangerous undeclared ingredients, which I think we talked about.
Oh yeah, I think I mentioned.
Oh, I
that
read this.
There's a lot of
Boner bear honey.
adulteration.
Adulteration.
Adulteration is when you deliberately put a drug into a product that it's not on the label.
Correct.
And so basically most herbal boner pills you get online are adulterated with actual boner drugs.
Yeah, they have prescription drugs in them treating diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, i.e., Viagra, I believe, was also one of
Yeah.
those drugs, right?
Yeah.
And it just happened to do some extra.
How ridiculous! Like
things.
we're gonna sell like something like honey, and we're gonna put
Well, it's just called honey.
whatever it is, but they put like
It's just the name.
quote unquote real medication in there. You don't know what the dose is. You don't know what the medication is that they're actually putting in. And,
Oh
and
yeah,
there's
man. What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
and they're labeling it as all natural.
Meth. Yeah, this is the stuff that's like at the gas station counter, apparently. So,
I mean,
I shouldn't get my drugs at the
you-
gas station counter?
I'm not a doctor, so I can confirm nor deny the efficacy of those, but I will probably deny. Yeah, so don't do that.
Grimbeard, at the end of your quote, you should have said, "Stop dancing."
Stop.
and it will not stop.
It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and it will absolutely not.
That's a
stop
great
dancing.
quote.
I know it is
Nice.
awesome. That is like a quote you walked out of that movie remembering.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You remember
All right.
watching that? I
man.
remember
The Terminator?
driving home after
Yeah,
Terminator in what 1984, and thinking, oh my god, that movie was so good. I can't
That
wait
was
to see it again. It was-
Yeah. What was the movie you remember walking out of the theater the most blown away by how awesome it
Raiders
was?
of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost
I
Ark.
remember walking up the
Raiders.
ramp of the Rake Theater, and then stopping every 10 feet. I'd stop and turn around and see the image of the guy because
Walking the crate
I
in
mean
the
that movie utterly blew me
What part
away.
was blowing? Like the melting Nazis, or what?
No, the whole movie.
The whole movie, it was
heavy.
non-stop action
Yeah, I
it
mean,
was
Harrison Ford at his peak.
with a
Here's-
good mix of humor and drama
Yeah.
and everything. It was just a perfect movie.
I saw that in the movie theater. 5 times.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. That does not happen even going
Well,
back decades.
we
That
we
doesn't
saw
happen.
Grease 5 times too.
Grease too.
more than 5.
That's rare though.
No,
I mean,
not Grease 2.
Close
Grease
Encounters of
as
the
well.
I remember. I remember
What do
seeing
you
that
guys
a
think
lot.
about Close Encounters of
It
the
was
Third
great.
Kind?
It was
Oh
great.
yeah, we loved it.
It's really, throw a dart at a dartboard at 80s movies.
Yeah, they're
Almost
pretty good.
every
They're
one
good.
of them
Yeah.
was fantastic. When you go to, if you don't, something I saw on TikTok where it just showed you like what were the movies that came out in
Arrival.
1984, and you're like, every single freaking movie was
Yeah.
amazing. Like you can't, we're like gushing over Project Hail Mary right now. It's like probably the one and
One a
only
month.
good
We had that
movie.
one a month in the 80s.
Yeah, there really does seem to be a very
Sweet spot.
paucity of really good movies.
Okay, here we got. I got a list.
word.
Let's look
Somebody
up the
said
list.
Back to the Future for me. It was one I specifically remember being
the
so
Matrix.
enthusiastic.
The Matrix is on the short list. Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Here's one, Missing in Action. Shout out to Chucky Norr. Right? Wasn't that Chuck Norris, Missing in Action?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that was Chuck Norris.
I was never a big fan of him. I mean, he
martial
was
arts wise. I mean, don't
He was great
He was an
in
anti-vaxxer.
Return
don't
of the
don't
Dragon.
ask his politics. Just
No.
let him be.
Yeah,
A,
And
a
he
meme.
got that
peaked
whole
at
like
Return of
that
the
whole internet
Dragon.
rep where he's so tough that blah blah blah. Like Bruce Lee
Yeah.
kicked his ass. Bruce Lee blows him away on every measure.
I mean, okay, sure, but he was a
that
fun
was-
see how
meme.
dismissive
He was a
he
fun
is?
meme.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay,
Ian
there's
doesn't
movie
give a
Joy of
shit
Sex.
about
What is
Bruce
this?
Lee.
And
I
now
know.
I'm seeing Bruce Lee videos that are AI, and it's like, I
Oh,
know
I
he
hate
never did
those.
that.
Yeah.
What are you really just showing the
know.
real stuff? I mean, come on.
Someone
about-
again is asking about AQ6. How many do we have in the
I
can
know,
now?
we have a lot.
Ian?
We have a 6 or 8.
8 shows in the
I was gonna
can.
say
We're
7,
having a
but
little
I'm
bit
not
of an
gonna say it.
editor bottleneck.
Yeah,
but we're going to
the
try to
PR
get.
stuff has kind of blown that up a little bit.
Yeah.
but we're
We
getting
did launch
in
2 video
line.
podcasts at the same time.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a.
The new season of AQ6 and Political Reality. But yeah, so we just recorded Project Hail Mary today,
Mm-hmm.
but because this is like in the theaters, we're going to try to get it out very quickly. So maybe this week or next
yeah,
week.
we hope.
And then hopefully once that happens, there'll be one every week for a while, but we have a
Yeah.
bunch in the can.
Chuck Norris was
All right,
a
wait.
chump. He really
Yeah.
was.
Sure.
He was a chump.
You didn't like
don't-
him on Texas Ranger?
No, he saw. There was nothing he did other than Bruce Lee kicking his ass.
I lost interest after Return of the Dragon. But
Yeah.
I mean, I never watched anything that he was in
Don't say that, Greek.
other than Return of the Dragon, really. But I was okay
had
with his
some things.
tough guy meme, whatever.
Yeah, the meme is funnier than the person.
Yes.
Cheech
Inception
and
was
Chong's
good.
The Corsican Brothers, 1984. You guys like that movie?
Do
Do you remember The Corsican Brothers?
don't.
I watched that a lot. That was very funny.
How do I not know that?
That's a very funny Cheech and Chong.
I
It's
know the other
ridiculous.
one, Up in Smoke.
Yeah, this one's like they're in the French aristocracy or whatever, and they feel each other's pain.
Oh,
Like,
I
if
did
they
see
stab,
that.
the
No, I
other
saw
one gets
that
hurt.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
it's very
that.
dumb. There's a movie Chud, which
Cannibalistic
is
humanoid underground dwellers.
very... Yes.
Bob
Very
made me watch
good.
that movie.
Firstborn. Oh, RoboCop, right? Oh
Of
no,
course.
no wait,
RoboCop is
Trancers.
fun.
Sorry, that wasn't RoboCop. I lied. I don't know what else is.
What year? What movies is this?
This is 1984, isn't that what you said? Was
yes,
the
it was.
thing?
That was the year I picked.
I don't know.
Search for-
Ghostbusters was Ghostbusters
Search for
1984.
Spock.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Yep, the
right around
Karate
there,
Kid,
yeah.
Karate
Spinal
Kid.
Tap.
Search for Spock.
Which
Never-ending Story.
That was a great
that's a
movie.
great
freaking
movie.
classic.
Yeah, Steve, you say meh for Search of Spock, but that's when Christopher Lloyd basically laid down the template for Klingon behavior. I mean, if you watch him, he
Silence of the
really a lot of what we see of
It was
Klingons
fine.
after that.
It was fine.
Yeah, I agree. It
It
was
was fine.
no,
Doesn't
you
blow me,
know,
not a blow me away movie.
What about
Star Trek 2,
Caravan
Wrath
of
of
Courage
Khan.
and Ewok Adventure? I've never heard
I
of
somehow
An
missed
Ewok
that. Yeah.
An
adventure.
Ewok, not rated. Yeah, no wonder.
What
What
else?
is
Come
ours?
on. There's like you gotta
Muppets in Manhattan. Come on,
That's a
classic.
classic.
Yeah,
That's a classic.
Muppets are awesome.
J'ai rencontré le Père Noël. I don't know what that is.
It's not just
Something Merry
84 though.
Christmas.
It's the whole 81, 2,
All right,
3,
okay,
4,
fine.
5.
Well, this was-
that
I
whole
thought it was the 80s
the whole
that you were talking about.
decade.
Fine. Yeah,
well,
the
you
whole
could go
decade
back
is
to
good.
late 70s. I mean, you get like freaking Jaws came out in what
75 or
75,
6.
75, and
First real summer blockbuster.
then Star Wars. Oh my god.
Star Wars.
Oh,
If
yeah,
I could
know.
relive
Nothing but
any first watch, it would be Star Wars, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's hard to.
Like let me
Yeah.
put it to you this way:
Adventures
Raiders
of
of the
Buckaroo Banzai. Hell.
Then you
Raiders
have
of
to
the
purge
Lost
the
Ark.
entire Star Wars canon from your mind.
Raiders blew my mind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Star Wars changed my life.
Oh.
Mm.
It's a very different level there.
Wow. All right. Do you want to see how AI works?
Yes.
Sure.
How
Okay.
AI works?
Hey, how AI works. Here's how AI works.
Yes. No,
Here it is.
Not
there you
A-
go.
Why is that guy doing that?
He's helping. Look.
What?
I
He's
saw
helping.
this.
He's helping. He's helping.
This is bullshit.
No.
This
This
is how. Look. There you go. There it is. And there you go.
No, now wait. Get ready to play this again. I saw this video today,
Yeah.
and it said, "This is what ICE is doing at airports."
Oh, that's true.
Oh, it was much funnier
It
than,
worked.
than
All right.
any AI connection.
I guess
works
you
for
could use that for a
AI
lot
too.
of metaphors.
But
Yeah,
for
yeah.
ICE, it's the
All right,
sweet spot
Here,
today.
ice at the airports. Here we go.
Yeah, because really, though, what are they doing? I mean, they're not really trained to do anything that's really going to help with the crowd.
I love the little hand. Like, go ahead, go.
That makes this video so much better.
No, you just don't like when I say AI.
Silex said A New Hope started filming 50 years ago
Yes.
this week.
This week.
Oh, speaking of AI, Sora closed down. I don't know if you guys saw that.
yeah.
Sora shut down.
Oh, is it
Sora.
already shut down?
I believe they posted something on Twitter to say that they are shutting down.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
saw
that's
that
what
they're
I meant.
shutting down.
because their
Yeah,
business model
Disney exits OpenAI deal after AI giant shutters Sora.
Whatever they say the reason was, I can guarantee you it wasn't that reason.
Yeah, right.
sucked.
Yeah.
Right. That's like if a magician tells you how they're doing a trick, the one thing you know is that's not how they're doing the trick.
Correct. All right, here's another funny video that somebody sent us. Dermatologists at a conference in Hawaii. And here's
No volume.
the well, you don't really know. It's just doing the see anything weird about these dermatologists
Yeah,
on
all
the
covered
beach
head to
in
toe.
Hawaii?
SPF clothing and hats. Hey, man, good
They
for
might
them.
know something. Is
It doesn't look very sunny, but UV gets through
even
clouds.
even in Hawaii. I mean,
and
or
the
in cloudy
water,
environment.
the light, the UV reflects off of the water.
Yeah.
I did that once where I was under a
An umbrella?
a big ass umbrella, thinking I was safe. I forgot about the reflection off the water, and
Yeah.
my chest was like purple. It was deep red. It was the worst sunburn I ever had. It
Oh,
was-
man.
So how dangerous is the sun, Steve?
The sun's a myth.
Oh, okay, good.
Have you ever seen the sun?
Hey,
Okay.
Sharon.
I've been sending
Have
Steve
you
too
ever
many
looked
TikToks.
directly into it?
I share it.
Every day I try to get my vitamin D.
Why am I
Um,
thinking about biscotti now?
About
Biscottis.
Biscotti?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's a weird association.
I'm
right,
salivating for some reason.
So this will lead into the next video when we actually do a topic. But let's. You've probably seen this famous video.
Let me see.
The
Yes.
most
Yes.
iconic timing.
If you release those two gases into a confined space with a hole at the other end of it and mix them as you do so, and then set light to
Light
them,
to them.
you get that.
Boom. Epic.
That's crazy.
Such good timing. I mean, he had the countdown clock probably in front of
the
him.
moon.
Destination the
That's
moon.
CG.
If
It's
you
not real.
release the
Yeah, it's AI.
We interviewed him. He was great.
Yeah.
He didn't do the rocket thing, though, with us.
No.
He didn't point. and
Maybe that's his
set-
magic
start a
power. Maybe when he
podcast.
points at a rocket, it launches.
It launches.
His show was great. I mean, the connections, right?
Connections and the day the universe changed.
Yeah,
Those
that
are
was
the
just
both
like-
were awesome.
Some of those connections were so like incredible and almost unbelievable in a way. You know, it was just like wow, just to think, you know, the complex relationship between how these technologies. It's so contingent, right? It's just so
Yeah.
like you can never anticipate any of that.
Right.
I should watch. I wonder if they
Yeah,
hold
like the
up.
connection between billiard balls and
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
You know, and film.
And there is one, or you just made that
Yeah,
up?
no, there is one.
Okay.
balls.
Celluloid.
I thought you'd say I thought
celluloid.
you'd say horse race and betting.
Oh.
But okay, yeah, celluloid. Interesting.
All right, let's look at that.
Oh, you're looking to solve one problem, and that leads to an innovation that happens to apply to something else.
billions,
Yeah.
billions of dollars.
All right, so this gets us to this TikTok, which is some Challenger escape conspiracy something or other stuff. Which,
Yeah.
the fun of
What,
TikTok.
what the hell am I looking at?
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Any
Yeah.
claims, but please tell me what you think about this.
The crew
Got
are
your
on
nose hair?
board. If it looks as if they're in danger, they get out and head down this tube, specially insulated against fire, and zigzagging down not to some point out and away from the rocket, but to an escape room exactly where you'd think it shouldn't be.
Where the exhaust comes out?
Wow, that looks like a lot of fun.
3.5 minutes after they get the warning in the capsule, the crew could be down here in the blast escape room via that 200-foot escape tube. 40 feet below the base of the rocket. They find themselves in a totally rubber room, walls and floors, and they head for safety through a 6-inch steel door. Once they're behind that door, it doesn't matter what comes down this tube behind them.
Damn. Why did that? That's so cool.
Why did he look like he got taller all of a sudden?
Because I wonder why he was out of breath just coming down.
Oh, they just have a bunch of nice, comfortable chairs.
On this side of that door, the rarely seen blast escape room itself. It's totally isolated from everything around it by a series of 24 giant springs underneath the floor and shells all round it of steel, concrete, and sand. It contains enough food, water, and air for 20 people for up to 24 hours, and it's all around the edge. There are these foam rubber shock-absorbing seats, as you can see. The room is built to withstand the simultaneous explosion of every drop of fuel on a Saturn V. And in that event, strapped into your shock-absorbing seat, if your rocket did blow itself to bits 40 feet above your head, all you'd feel would be a mild rumble from somewhere up there.
I'm not making any claims, but please
Okay, so anyway, it's like a a weird conspiracy.
Yeah,
tied
so
with an actual interesting video.
If that's true, then why did the astronauts on the Challenger die? That's the video.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're a
Doesn't make any
freaking
sense.
moron.
Because
That's
they weren't
why.
in that room.
Because first
under
of
the
all,
ground?
that's the Apollo mission.
Right.
That is a Saturn V. That is not a space shuttle. The entire infrastructure was revamped between Apollo and the shuttle. That didn't exist for the shuttle missions, and that's a pre-launch safety measure. Once you launch and they're in space, you can't take the tunnel onto the ground underneath the
Yeah,
whatever.
The tunnel doesn't extend up to the rocket while it's
She
It has
actually-
absolutely
sky.
nothing to do
She actually
with
missed that
the
point.
Challenger.
Yeah, it's just it's
She missed that point that you're launching away from the tube.
Well,
that
so
will-
if you read the comments, and some people say, well, the astronauts were never in the Challenger, so they did that before the Challenger took off, because then they could blow up the Challenger without killing the astronauts. So,
Oh, yeah, I see what they. Yeah.
so why? Okay, so first of all, why did
I
they blow
see.
up the Challenger? Right? Why would they do that?
it's all
And
coming now.
why not just kill the astronauts if you're going to do that? And where are these astronauts?
I see.
How'd you keep them
Oh,
under
man.
wraps for 30 years? or
Why?
whatever it's been.
What's
40
with
years?
though her camera angle? I don't understand.
That's part of the thing. Is it like a Poe or is
It's just
it
general
her
incompetence?
shtick, or it's like she's
She
crazy?
likes the inside of her nose,
She
I
likes the
think.
inside of
I
her
guess
nose.
so.
I mean,
It's just really weird.
cleans it out, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, the
So-
fact that we don't know. Yeah. So first off, we don't know if she's a Poe. Doesn't really seem like it, but who the hell knows? And then like this level of not understanding basic concepts, like not even scientific concepts, just basic like wrong mission. The rocket took off, so they couldn't go down the escape thing. You know, like everything. Like it seems like she doesn't understand anything.
Mm-hmm.
But she's
Right.
got a TikTok channel and tons of videos.
The nose knows.
Nose.
This is why we need robots.
Yeah.
Ha. Nice segue there, Jay.
Yeah, insurance claim. I don't know. I don't think the Challenger itself was covered by insurance. I mean, I guess the individuals might have had life insurance, probably, but like, then
It
what?
makes no
Like,
sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
It's like, how much money are you getting from insurance to blow up like a multi-million-dollar rocket?
Billion.
right.
A
Billion.
Sorry,
$1 billion.
You're right.
Good luck getting insured again, though.
Yeah.
No, it's stupid.
dead.
It's just- no.
Makes
no sense.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so that was some fun dumb stuff that was sent to us. All right, we have some even wackier stuff that we found around the web that people either tag us in, reminder tag us in any videos, or I just found because it's painful. Do you want to do the nukes aren't real one?
I hate
Okay,
that
I
guy.
hate
Yeah,
that.
forget
All
it.
right, never mind.
Forget
Not
it.
that fucking
Wait,
guy.
Bob, what was the one that you said you wanted to do? It was the.
I didn't. Not this
You
week.
didn't. Okay. Well, there's Quantum. There's also the pollen guy. Did you see the pollen one? I'm gonna play the pollen one because
Okay,
it's
let's
annoying,
do it.
Yeah.
and it's stupid and it's painful.
I did watch it. It is
It's
funny and stupid.
and stupid and painful. Oops, I read the wrong one. Beep. Here we go.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I hate seeing that.
Here
X.
we
I wake up this morning and my car is completely covered in mud, like it rained mud or something. And I was thinking, oh, well, maybe someone peeled out next to my car or something like that. And look, I'm at the vape shop and her car's covered in it too. And she says she talked to all these people and everyone in my area woke up this morning and their cars were just covered in this, whatever
Life
this
is just
It
such
looks
a
like
mystery
mud,
for some people.
but
you know?
whatever it rained last night is just mud rain or something.
Ian, should I explain to
What
him?
are they putting in the clouds?
What are they putting in the
What
cloud?
are they
Yes.
seeding the clouds
Seeding.
with
There we go.
to make this? And it's on every vehicle
Oh my God.
Take a sample and have
around
it
this whole
analyzed.
area
Okay,
that I'm
so
at.
Have your head analyzed. Too.
so you know,
What
it's a
in the
weird, it's a
world is
weird
that?
thing in physics. You know, when the temperature
Tree
goes
cum.
down, something called condensation happens.
That could
So
be
he
part
needs
of
to
it.
look up that word, and then give him a minute to read it. I'm just pretending that he's watching. Okay, so condensation is what is the collection of water on surfaces when temperature cools because the air cannot hold as much H2O.
Yeah, but you can't see well enough probably in the video, but that's pollen.
I know. No, I'm done.
Oh.
Now, there was probably pollen floating through the air, and it got captured by the water,
Oh, and then dried, and then
and then
made it
dried
more
on the surface of your car. Look up the word "dry,"
like- Okay.
and then give them a minute. Right? Like this is what we have to do. This is where we have been professional skeptics for 25 to 27 years at this point. It predates the podcast.
30 years.
And here we are, like 30 years into the future after we started, and there are people that don't understand about condensation in our
pollen.
world.
Or pollen.
Or pollen.
Yeah, he's outraged, and like the whole the whole pivot to they. What are they doing? Yeah, there's people that are putting some yellow substance up in the clouds to rain down on them, and the end game is what? What's the end game? To piss you off?
Control.
I mean, he's never had pollen on his car before.
To impregnate you as a tree with tree babies.
But just think about what I'm saying. Like, is that the mentality, guys? I mean, that's what's happening, and they're content creators.
It's
They're-
like,
they're
all right, so
making
that's it. If
content.
you have a cell phone and a social media account, it's like owning a gun, right? You own a gun, and then you have a really bad day and you get depressed. That's bad because you could do something before you could process what's happening, right?
Think about it.
And that's the number one risk factor for I shouldn't say successfully, for dying by suicide.
Right.
Is having a
Access.
gun, having immediate access to a gun.
Right.
It's the same thing. And so they have immediate access to a way to publish the ridiculous thoughts that come to their head, on the internet.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if given the time they would talk to somebody, go, dude, that's pollen. Oh, okay. Now I don't have to embarrass myself in front of the fucking world.
Well, someone said too. It's like this is probably rage bait. Poking around for anything to put on their TikToks. Which is another thing. It's like
Well, that's it. That's the Poe angle of it, or just the I don't give a shit if it just drives clicks.
Ford Bukaki.
All right.
Dude.
Okay. All right.
He
If
makes
anything,
me-
it's grass or tree.
He makes me laugh
that.
every week, Ian. Grimbeard, you always say something to make me laugh, dude.
All right. Well, that's fun.
All right, so we got killer pollen being sprayed onto our cars at night.
Yes. You know who's doing the spraying, Jay?
They are. Yeah.
It's the Challenger astronauts
Oh,
Yeah, they're not.
they're still around
it's
spraying.
the long game.
Yeah.
Not sure what they're doing, but it's long.
How would you pronounce that name? T. Chami? Welcome, T. Chami.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Love from Texas. Hello, Texas. All right, let's do incandescent light
What
bulbs.
a trip to Texas, man. When we went and saw
Oh, we had a
the-
blast.
Oh,
this-
the eclipse.
The
That was
eclipse.
amazing.
My God, that was
The fact that the sky
unforgettable.
cleared
10
when those
minutes
meteorologists told us the day before that there's a phenomenon where it might clear, and
Yeah.
they said it, and that we were like, "Oh my God, imagine!" And it actually did it.
that
I
was-
actually did it.
But the best thing that happened on that trip, Bob and I were in the lobby of the hotel, and there was a guy in the hotel. We were talking to him.
Yeah.
it was a local, Texan there, and he's talking about it, and he goes, "I tell you what."
I tell you what.
And it was just awesome because it was so genuine and local, and we say that all
It's
the
an
time.
inside joke with
It's
us.
I
well,
tell you
Steve found
what.
that saying started because there was some turkey hunter guy on the internet at his channel, and Steve stumbled on this, and he says, "I'll tell you what" in so many different ways. And it's in the intro of his video. Like he's leaning into it. It was really funny. When that guy said that, I can't believe it. You told me, and like by the end of you describing it to me, I was in tears.
Let's get to this duder
Yes.
right here. Boom.
What we
So
got?
Donald Trump just unbanned incandescent light bulbs, and if that upsets you, watch this video. So incandescent light bulbs actually release not just visible spectrum light, but also infrared radiation. This infrared radiation, when it penetrates into your skin, can actually boost mitochondrial function, which in turn increases your metabolism. So this is really good because this will allow you to buy incandescent light bulbs and install them back into your house. And not only does it give a nice warm glow that actually feels really good, it literally can actually increase your health. So
Ian,
the
do you know
next
when
time
this
you go
was
to
published?
the Home Depot or
When this was published?
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Okay, so he's wrong in that you cannot buy incandescent bulbs in the U.S. So it is true that Trump undid. It wasn't really a ban on incandescent bulbs. It was effectively a ban because it was just the law is that all bulbs have to produce at least 45 watts per lumens per watt, and that eliminates incandescent bulbs as a category because they can't produce 45 lumens per watt.
Do you remember when everybody was upset about that?
And then in
the day?
2020, Trump reversed it. And then in 2022 or 2023, Biden reversed Trump's reversal. And so as of today, you cannot buy incandescent bulbs in the United States.
Good.
Which is good. And Trump has not reversed whatever. It's a done deal. The industry is gone. Like no one's making them. You know what I mean? It's a
Well,
done
I think
deal.
you can still make specialty ones, right? Can't you make specialty incandescent bulbs technically?
It has to be 40. From what I read, it's
it?
got to be 45
Okay,
lumens
I
per
thought it
watt.
was like a carve out for specialty things. But anyway.
And for everything else, he said it's total bullshit. So yeah, does it produce infrared rays? You mean heat? Yes.
Yeah, infrared
Incandescent bulbs
radiation.
produce heat. They get very hot, as anyone who lived prior to LED light bulbs knows very well. There was literally a toy. Remember they cooked the
Yeah,
Easy bake
someone just
oven.
said
Easy
it.
Bake Oven. Yeah. You could cook with them. You could cook with an
A
incandescent
very
bulb.
small cake.
Little cupcake or something. But does it do anything to your health? No, it's heat. It doesn't do anything
can't
for
prove
you.
that, Steve.
Mitochondria, blah blah blah. It's all bullshit.
Yeah,
so-
somebody mentioned the lava lamp. I guess you can't. Yeah, you need that for
so
a
there
lava lamp.
there is a carve out. It's like it took effect in August 2023. These exemptions include appliance lamps, three-way bulbs, bug lights because they would have
Oh,
to,
yeah, yeah, sure.
colored lights, black lights, plant lights, and certain reflector bulbs. So
But
they-
what
but
about
it's-
what about bulbs for lava lamps though?
no? Specifically, they said no. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, you hippies with your getting all potted up on weed. Sorry,
I wonder what happened. I had a lava lamp and I don't know what happened to it.
it probably broke.
I don't know. It's gone. It's
gone.
Just
weird.
just evaporated.
Gone.
Yeah. It's somebody else's lava lamp. It's everyone's lava lamp. All right, so that's fun.
Yeah, if you had to unscrew an incandescent bulb, you had to get a cloth.
Oh my
to
God, yes,
hold
remember?
it. Yeah.
Just do it a little.
Even some of those LEDs, like early ones, were hot too, right? They would like it was
LED?
a lot of
Yeah, they were.
not the same level hot,
But still, the hot
still a
enough.
little hot, a little warm. All right, what about hacking your neurons? Did you see that TikTok?
Let's
Should
do
we
it.
watch that TikTok on hacking your neurons?
Okay, so I'm wearing my EMF RF blocking silver fabric. I
Right.
wear it to sleep now so that I can keep my dreams without them being stolen from me and uploaded into the cloud.
All right, we can stop there.
But I want
Little
to
Faraday hat.
That's
So,
that's the
This person is either a Poe or mentally ill. Seriously, that's why I didn't want to review this one. I don't like to do like specific people that I think are very highly likely to be mentally ill, just because this is like classic paranoia.
Yeah.
kind of thing. They're stealing my
To
dreams.
upload them to
Yeah.
the cloud or something. But yeah,
That's like textbook schizophrenia. But again, I don't diagnose people online. I'm just saying if I think that we're dealing with somebody who may be in that realm of things, either they're faking it, which is reprehensible, or they're genuinely have an illness, and we shouldn't be making fun of them.
That's true. But don't put silver on your head, I guess, is the main thing. Or drink it. Don't drink it either.
especially if you're a vampire.
Wow.
I thought, wait,
What?
vampires or werewolves?
Silver,
I thought silver was werewolves.
both.
Is it?
Yeah, man. And in lots of representation of vampires, they don't want to mess with silver. Absolutely. I was just listening to an audiobook today that had that.
I thought
Yeah.
vampires didn't like iron.
No.
No, silver.
What doesn't like iron?
Silver.
Well, I mean, so vampires,
Now we're getting to the good stuff.
cold iron sometimes is listed as something they don't like. Oak.
Yeah.
Anything stake through the heart is always
Yeah.
bad. Sometimes silver.
Absolutely.
You know,
Sunlight,
sunlight, is almost
mirrors. They don't
ubiquitous.
like mirrors.
Werewolves are definitely silver.
Yeah.
That's like the
Silver
classic thing.
bullet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole-
Otherwise, I don't think they really have any vulnerabilities.
Werewolves?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a
werewolves.
purifying sacred metal, apparently. So it's anti-evil.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's the
What about-
individual lore,
So, what percentage of silver alloy do you need in a steel weapon for it to
Good
be
point.
effective against
Yeah,
werewolves?
there's
That's,
only one way to
it's
find
very
out,
specific.
Steve.
Yeah, because silver's not a great metal for an edge because it's
Yeah.
Soft.
and it's heavy.
Mm.
But you probably still need like a 1% alloy would be enough.
It's funny. I was just listening to a story now by Drew Hayes. It's so good. This vampire was injured, mortally wounded by an explosion, and that explosion threw like a bunch of silver into her body. There was like silver like embedded from the explosion, and the hero of the story, who's a vampire, turns her into a vampire, and because there was so much silver incorporated into her dying body already, it integrated itself into her bones so much that she is now immune to silver. But not only that, if she like uses her claws as an attack, it's a silver attack, which is much deadlier than almost anything, because in this story, the silver
So
messes
she's like the
with,
Wolverine of vampires.
That's the first thing I thought of.
yeah, I mean, I think in this story, this is a very specific story. It's not like Wolverine level. It's like just claws. Just any vampire could scratch you with the claws, but hers have do silver damage, which is more extensive.
Yeah, that's kind of
I
weird.
mean, just like her fingernails.
Yeah, so in the
basically.
world of vampires, she's like Wolverine.
Yeah.
Right, got it.
I sent this. I don't know if you guys saw this. Was China demands evidence for their traditional medicine injections?
They
If
do.
you saw that? They just is a recent
What?
regulation. New regulations ask manufacturers to provide efficacy and safety data or withdraw their products.
Wow.
Good for them.
So
Are
that's
they-
pretty good.
it
So
took
they're-
I
a-
mean,
took a while, but
agree in principle.
Yeah,
It's always
hopefully.
about execution.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, yeah, it's our cultural treasure is traditional medicine, Chinese traditional medicine, right?
Wow.
So like, there certainly is a desire to probably keep it around.
well,
From a nationalist perspective, I mean, like, you know,
it's complicated.
Well,
It's so brief history of TCM in China.
And this will blow your mind.
uh-oh.
So, first of all, you got to go back to the 1920s when TCM was basically invented,
Yeah?
right?
Oh,
So,
right.
before that, there were multiple different mutually incompatible traditions,
I love those traditions.
and like there was more of an herbalist tradition, there was an acupuncturist tradition, there was whatever. There was
Yeah.
different traditions that
Vastly
again were
different.
mutually incompatible, and were just blatant superstition. And then Mao Zedong, they basically said, okay, we got 1 billion people at the time, right? It was only a mere 1 billion people. We cannot provide health care to everybody. Most of the population were peasants. They created the Barefoot Doctor Program, and they armed them with the official book of
Ancient Chinese medicine.
of traditional Chinese medicine, which they completely manufactured at the time, but out of these older traditions, they kind of wove them together and just made them work. They retconned the whole thing, make it work together, and that became sort of the new thing, right?
Right.
So the whole ancient, like the acupuncture's been around for 2,000 years. It's like, no, it's been around since 1920s. What was called acupuncture before that was nothing like what you think of today as acupuncture or whatever. And So it was really just an act of desperation. It was not like this is a great cultural thing. I mean, they kind of used that to sell it to the people. But
Right.
if you had power or money in China, you used Western medicine. This was peasant medicine. So this is like to keep the peasants happy because we can't give them real medicine. That really changed in the 70s when Westerners went to China and then became enamored with this exotic ancient medicine. They kind of bought the bullshit that they were selling to their own people.
And then brought it back.
And so that what we have in the West as the culturally appropriated traditional Chinese medicine is all bullshit. It was all just the modern stuff that was just retconned. But all throughout, again, if you had power or money, you got real medicine from the West, science-based medicine. And so, every time China tries to, push for more modernization or whatever, it comes with, we're going to move away from traditional Chinese medicine to more, science-based, evidence-based medicine. The other thing about TCM that you have to mention is that it's mostly responsible for the illegal animal trade in the world.
Wow.
And-
White rhino horn, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just that. Like
And
we
the
were
shark fin. A lot of
talking
stuff.
about like the Huanan wet market and all the illegal animal trade and how that's leading to zoonotic spillovers and everything. That's still the major push of that is is traditional Chinese medicine.
Pathetic.
Yeah, because I think it's healthy to eat these wild animals. Whatever. It's all bullshit. So and China is trying to tamp down on the illegal animal trade. And if they want to seriously do that, they're going to have to also move away from TCM.
Which is unlikely.
So we'll see how it
this
goes.
regulation, maybe.
We'll see how
if
it goes and what impact it actually has.
Yeah, they might be able to chip it away if it's not available.
I mean, this
for
is a
purchase.
generational project to
Yeah, so
really
definitely it would
to do that. But
They really want to make it happen. They could shorten that time if they want to be
They're,
draconian about
they're pretty
it.
good at
well,
future-looking.
after COVID, they did ban the illegal animal trade, but it just all went into the black market.
Yeah.
Which is it could actually make things worse, right?
Yep.
Because now you can't monitor it, you can't
Oversight,
track
yeah.
it. You can't regulate it. Anyway, that's sort of the quickie version. I know I'm covering
that was
a lot
good.
of ground there.
No,
but-
but that's good. All right, let's see what else. Fascia as a second brain.
My
I hate the
fascia-
whole second brain thing.
I
It's
know,
like, yeah,
a
cells
common thing.
communicate with each other. That's how brains evolved out of that,
Right.
But they're not brains in any reasonable sense of the word. I know the big one they sell is the stomach, the gut as the second brain.
That's a common one.
That's a
Very
common one. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it secretes neurotransmitters and stuff, but it's not a brain. It's not a
Well,
full
the,
brain.
the interesting question then becomes a classic brain in a jar. If you
Yeah.
really just have the brain,
A disembodied brain.
right? What would the impact be without these other tertiary, secondary brains not in the loop?
Or yeah, it's kind of like people talk about the brain body connection or the mind body connection. Whatever. There is a brain body connection. The brain is part of the body.
Yeah.
It's an organ that responds to all kinds of different hormones, and it produces hormones, and it
Yeah.
affects other organs, and they affect it. It's all an integrated physiological system.
Yeah. So if we're just a
Of
brain in a
course.
jar, are we going to be bummed? Are we going to be like missing something? Be like,
I mean, it's hard. I mean,
Missing my
but
kidneys.
there's so many questions about that. Like, are you providing sensory input and output, and what are you doing to all the parts of the brain that deal with the body? You know what I mean?
Right.
My stomach does.
Are you going
make
to
Sensory,
feel
decisions.
like
yes.
a disembodied consciousness with no sensory input at all? I mean, what are we doing to that brain?
yeah,
in
those
the
are good
jar?
questions. I mean, I would think primarily that'd be sensory in terms of sight and hearing
Sensory.
and well, those are the two biggies in that scenario, I would think. But yeah, I don't know. You would need some just to keep the person sane. I think you'd need some sort of embodiment, some virtual embodiment,
Yeah.
something. I don't know. But it's just I remember I've been curious about what would be missing. If there's no like gut interaction with a brain.
Yeah, it's
would it-
interesting.
Would it be something that would be
Would you not
Knows-
feel a body, right? Or no body sensation?
Artificial proprioception.
yeah nice.
I want it. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know if we need to hear from this guy. Yes, he kind of did it, but he also puts this water holds memory. Our bodies are 60% and plus water, which I'm like, he
Water
doesn't
does
get-
not hold
Ian,
memory.
Ian,
That's homeopathic
I know,
bullshit.
it's like homeopathy.
Ian.
But what?
Can you wait 1 second?
Go ahead.
Put up the very last chat.
The,
New
we
Zealand.
are all sentient puddings piloting
Yeah.
a meat and bone mech. Meat
That-
and
that-
bone
that-
mecha.
That's T-shirt worthy right there.
Yeah.
T-shirt with-
I've seen variations of that. I've always liked that quote.
Sentient
The one I've
puddings.
heard is something about
Puddings.
a ghost piloting a meat
Puppet.
a meat puppet or something is another kind of variation on that.
We're an emergent ghost.
But I like it.
I like the pudding.
Pudding
better.
is fun.
We're a glob of pudding piloting a meat puppet.
Is the brain more pudding or stuffing or what?
It's Jell-O. The
It's
brain is
Jell-O.
like
It's
jelly.
Jell-O.
Great.
It's a jelly.
Jelly brains.
That was
Remember,
jam.
Jack?
Jello
Yeah.
don't jam like that.
That fog is so thick. It's like jelly brains from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, let's just watch this guy for a little bit and then we'll shut him off because it's probably stupid.
Your freaking world if you can just quiet your monkey brain and listen for 60 seconds. So in terms of healing and bringing your body back in alignment, step one, your brain,
Why is this so
it does not feel pain. When you get brain surgery, they open the top of your skull, they can touch around, you don't feel anything. So when your body is physically manifesting pain, that is not coming from your brain. Your brain interprets a signal from somewhere else. So where is it getting that signal from when you get anxiety, when you get stressed out, when you have trauma from your childhood or your adulthood, or you're in chronic stress at a job for a while?
And your point
Where is that coming from? Your brain's interpreting that signal from your body. Your stress, your anxiety, that's stored in your body. More importantly, your fascia or your nervous system. So your fascia is your second brain. It's the interconnective webbing that connects everything together and it stores memory. It holds memory. So your brain is
This
just
is just
interpreting.
gobbledygook.
I'm like, yeah, he's just got a lot of words in his head, but
I mean, it's not even a coherent through line there.
how does
Yeah.
fascia store
So it
memory?
is true that the brain is numb because there's no nerve endings in the brain.
Yes.
Right? But that has nothing to do with the brain's ability to sense actual nerve endings that are coming through the sensory pathways to the brain. I mean, it's just confusing things.
Yeah.
You know, like the brain is not a.
Why is he nude?
Yes, the brain interprets signals from the body. Yes, that's how the brain fucking works. Yeah.
Oh God, Steve,
It
what's
doesn't-
wrong with
He
these
knew.
people?
You
What's
just
happening?
Think he's nude. You're recreating his lower half, Felipa.
He should date the girl with the nose.
Go with the nose. Yeah, sometimes like people can't even string together a coherent chain of logic.
nonsense?
You know, it's just
All right.
Well, there it is, folks. It's like it's just another Wednesday TikTok afternoon
I
over
know,
here.
that was. I mean, those were most of the ones. We're saving obviously two of them for Steve.
The
to do
only
a
two good ones.
TikTok. The only two good ones. I couldn't find any good or
Yeah,
gooder
I
ones.
think
Gooder
I said,
ones?
It wasn't a
Couldn't
good
find any
week
gooder ones, man.
on the tuck.
So if y'all find some gooder ones, make sure you tag us, please, or send it in, and I'll try to grab them. I search all the places, TikTok and Reddit, and all
so.
that
What makes a
stuff,
good
so
TikTok reaction
That's a
video?
good question.
So
Go
it's,
ahead.
It shouldn't be crazy time, right?
No.
I don't like to do ones where I have to question the sanity
Yeah.
of the person doing the
Right,
video.
right.
There's a lot
There's
of
that.
There's a lot of that. So that's
There's
like that's a pretty big filter
Yeah, that's the best.
immediately.
Yeah.
It should be something where there's something logical or scientific meaty that I could dig my teeth
Yeah,
into.
some juicy science connection. I love.
Yeah, there's something
Yeah.
for me to talk about that has a good scientific or skeptical
Right.
or critical thinking, logical angle to it.
And where there's
it's not
science-
just crazy time
Yeah.
off the charts. Like there's nothing to talk about. It's just nonsense.
Yeah.
And also, if someone's just reiterating their religious faith, there's not much for me to talk about there
yeah,
either.
Whatever. Yeah.
You know, or whether it's new agey or whatever. If they talk about, sometimes like I see videos or Ian sends me videos where it's just some new ager talking about the vibrations and the body. Okay, there's nothing. It's so disconnected from
What are you
reality.
gonna
It's
do? You
just
have to-
all
you'd have to-
magic.
yeah, you'd have to
There's
refute
nothing to
everything.
even talk about. Okay, that's just pure magical nonsense.
And send us some fun stuff too, because we need a palate cleanser.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's definitely some fun stuff out there.
Yeah, my palate's real pissed off right now.
Yeah, and sorry, no Willet bread this week either.
No blathering Trump
That
clips.
pisses me off
No,
a
we
lot
have no
more.
blood.
I can
blathering.
complain about Trump if you want me to.
No,
It's-
Nah,
that's
that's all
not
right.
that. We did,
So here,
that's what other podcasts are for.
Was it John
podcast.
John Blair? Jay, are you going to No King? So this weekend is going to be one of the big No Kings protests. So
Where?
Yeah, in
All
Haven.
over, all over.
All
Everywhere,
over.
so it's right here. I can
Yeah.
just stay right here.
Yeah, the town next to
Protesting
mine
your
does. Yes, I'll be.
house.
I
There
will
won't be much
there.
of a crowd here,
In the
but
basement.
I want to find. Liz and I think are
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
go somewhere nearby.
The one in Southbury is fine. I'm going to go there.
We went to the one in Newtown. That was nice. It was all down Main Street.
What about the
There's
New
a
Haven
lot of-
Green? That was the big
That's,
one last
that's
time.
probably So
Probably the biggest
maybe
one.
we could all meet up and then
Then you
some,
can get
some
pizza.
good food afterwards or something.
Pizza.
That's true.
We could do it some New Haven pizza and some New Haven protests.
All right.
the same
Okay.
time.
Pizza.
I'll start the thread.
All right, Ian, you're going to join us.
Yeah, okay, we're doing it.
All right.
That sounds like a demand, not a question.
Espresso cookies. Oh my God.
Wait, what?
Sharon
Skeptabrarian?
bakes. Yeah, she baked some espresso cookies.
That's just a tease. That's just
it,
teasing.
it's
Why
a
does she
tease.
do this
But
to
she's
us?
dredging up some wonderful memories of espresso cookies. So I'm
But also, you
enjoying-
could send us the recipe.
Give me a
Maybe
moment
we'll
to enjoy
remake
this
it and try
memory.
to not fail. We'll do a Will It Bread.
We got to. You and I got to get together and bake some bread.
Who?
Or you do cookies and I'll do bread. And we'll,
That was
we'll-
Skeptabrarian.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be baking soon, but I already brought it here. It's the Easter bread.
Yeah,
Paloma.
well, because Easter's coming up.
Yeah, so I'm
Well,
gonna
what
bake
Easter coming
soon.
up?
What- So I'll be baking some of that, but no need to bring it in a second time. But I'll be eating that. We'll all be eating some
Yeah.
of that shit.
I love
So,
it.
any
with coffee, with coffee.
Any spoilers for this week's episode coming up?
No.
No, I don't
No
even know what I'm going
spoilers.
to talk about.
You don't
Man.
even know. Well, I mean, are you going to talk about the zoonotic spillover? I mean, you
No,
kinda
we
did
did
that
already.
last week, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of the same thing. All right, because you had the guest.
AI art.
But you did write. Steve did write about zoonotic spillover on
Science-Based
science-based medicine.
medicine.
So go to sciencebasedmedicine.org. You can subscribe to the RSS feed and get all this fun stuff.
What did I write
from there.
about on Neurologica this
Oh, yeah,
week?
that's a good question. Let's go to the net. Whoops, I can't spell. Oh, God, don't look at my spelling. The Ness.
Favorite Girl Scout
God.
cookie: tag-alongs, peanut butter tag-alongs.
Not Thin
Taggle?
Mints?
Not Thin
I mean, I
Mints.
like 'em all.
Peanut butter tag-alongs.
Oh, well,
I like the
peanut-
coconut
I don't like
ones.
peanut butter cookies.
Good, more for me.
How come it's not? What happened to the Comet 3i Atlas?
Oh, I might talk about that.
Oh yeah,
That's
there's
a good
more.
one.
Because there's
more-
that, and then Avi Loeb is at it again with
Oh,
more
yeah,
bullshit.
he's-
Of course he is. No
Funding running
RFK
out.
jump scares, please.
Sorry, yeah, I did scroll. I didn't give you a trigger warning on RFK. Apologies for that. All right. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else we need to talk about.
Unless anybody has a question.
Yeah, you could hit us with questions before we do some TikToks. We got to get some. There's just 2 TikToks today. The extravaganza in New Zealand will go on sale shortly. I got to put that up. There's a new PR podcast coming out that is open to everyone. It'll be on YouTube. It's on the Save Act, so if you're interested in that.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, yes. There's a lot of events that are now listed on the events page. So go to the events page, and there's all the events there.
I will say one thing about the Save Act that is
Oh, here we
interesting,
go.
and that is
Uh-oh.
what's different about Trump now
Okay.
is that he just says what he's doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there's no coyness. Like he said, as they say, he says the quiet part out loud. It's like, yeah, the Save Act will ensure that Republicans win the midterms. Like you can't say that. That you're basically saying you're
Clearly
rigging
he
the
can
vote.
say that.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though. So
Doesn't
why?
give a shit.
Yeah,
No.
it doesn't matter.
Or it's like, yeah, we're going to go to Venezuela and take their oil. I mean,
right.
you don't need a conspiracy
Wait,
theory.
you
He's
said we're not
freaking
complaining about
saying
Trump,
it.
so I'm going to complain about
No,
Trump.
I'm not
then.
complaining. I'm
No.
observing. I'm making
Instead
an
of Trump,
observation.
what would you prefer? An incompetent fascist or a competent fascist? Or can you even have a competent?
Sure.
I mean, I guess you can.
Well, there
but,
are some inherent problems with fascism that,
Right, like
that
that
are
kind of
self-defeating.
self-destructive.
I would prefer a functioning fucking Senate that would get rid of a president that is this
Well, that's
unqualified
not gonna
and
happen
corrupt.
anytime
Or
Yeah.
at least
You know?
don't rubber stamp all of his incompetent cabinet
soon.
picks.
Well, that's
How about
another thing.
Just doing the job. You know,
I-
doing your job would be nice.
I'm telling you though, there is a shift on Facebook. Facebook has been my number one outlet for having discussions about the Trump's 2 administrations that he has. And they're not the people coming out to defend Trump has almost completely dried up. And I'm not even seeing posts that they're making about Trump. The only thing that some of them are doing is bitching about Democrats in one way or another. It's really changed a lot. I used to put posts up and there would be there'd be flame wars in there. People would be losing their mind, and it's like it's gone, which tells you something. It really does tell me something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean
really
it's anecdotal, and we know some individual people who are like, I'm done with Trump. You know,
Yeah.
so
Right.
I think the Iran thing really was a bridge too far for
Yeah.
a lot of individual
Especially
people.
followed by Epstein. Hello.
Not the core, not
Yeah.
the.
No,
Yeah.
they'll never
they don't
change.
care.
But that's not those people don't matter. They really
Yeah.
don't matter. I mean, and let's face it. After the all the polls that have happened over the last year, I mean, Trump supporters are in the vast minority now.
well, the diehards you're talking about.
No,
No,
the
well,
real
Well,
numbers. He has lost.
He's significantly underwater.
He's underwater like 30 points on most
sure.
issues, man.
Yeah, if you look at especially independents and a lot of the, some people.
but
the
we'll
big
see where
support-
things are at the midterms.
Yes.
We'll see where things are.
Hey,
at the
somebody,
We have,
Democrat won some Florida state house.
Yeah, the one
that was
the
Trump's.
Mar-a-Lago.
That was Trump's district.
That was Mar-a-Lago's district.
That's the needle is moving. That's
The question
obvious.
is how
much.
do those off-cycle elections predict the midterms?
Correct.
I believe we're going to do an episode on that
Mm-hmm.
on
Ooh.
political reality.
we should.
Andrea mentioned something about we could do an episode on how well does it actually does it predict anything or not? It's always more complicated than you think.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to do a deep dive on that. The whole prediction aspect is an interesting topic because it's been so bad recently.
Yeah, right.
You know, when the war started, people were saying, "Oh, he's in it to save the Iranian people," and all. They're not even saying that anymore. Nobody is
rise
writing
up.
that anymore
Rise up and
because
take over the
it's
government.
perfectly obvious that he's not doing any of this to help people in Iran under any interpretation of what's going on. That is absolutely not happening in any way. There's nobody in the administration going, yeah, and then we'll do this, this, and this to help the people of Iran. Like, if anything, you know, it stirred up the hornet's nest. And
Yeah, that's a good metaphor. There was a report that Israel, like the intelligence, agency, was encouraging the Iranians to revolt, even though they also assess that they will get slaughtered if
Yeah.
they try to do that.
of course they'll get
man.
slaughtered.
Which is true. They'll get slaughtered.
They still have over 600,000 person standing army that's loyal to the regime.
And 200,000 of them are the Revolutionary Guard.
Yeah.
that are,
Yeah, forget
are
it.
religious
Yes.
ideologues.
So I'm gonna leave I'm hunkering down in my house. I'm gonna leave the safety of my house to not only avoid bombs being dropped, but avoid being slaughtered by other people that are out there. It's like they're not gonna rise up anytime soon. It doesn't seem to me. It's probably a deadly move on their part to even try that.
Yeah.
It's
Have
just
we ever
ridiculous.
bombed wokeness into people before? Have we tried bombing wokeness?
Love bomb.
Love bomb? Look at that. Let's send a love bomb. to
Games.
everybody.
Love games.
Love games.
All right, so Bob and I are gonna go, so you two can do what you got to do.
What we got to do.
Everybody have
I don't know what they do.
have a
down
great
here
day.
when we leave today.
That's
What
true.
do they do when
Don't
we leave?
worry,
I
it's
don't
a
want even wanna
secret.
think
I have
about it.
cameras.
That's
down
when the
there.
fun
This
begins.
is
Oh,
fun,
boy.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. See you soon.
We do our gaming stream. We don't tell anybody about it. All right, here we go. Let's put some hold music. There we go. A little bit of that. A little tickety tock. Look at that table, everybody. I'm not doing the voice. Look at the table. It's looking good. Beautiful table.
I don't remember seeing it.
I did the voice. Here we
I'm a
go.
believer in geomancy. I've seen it work.
Bye. Everybody say bye to Bob and to Jay.
I'm a believer.
And to not Steve. Okay, there's this one. I'm just going to move these around. Pause. Okay, you get a little preview.
Hey,
of
how does
that.
everybody like our new table?
New table. Everybody, come on. You know you like it.
Took us 6 months to get this thing.
6.
There were some. We ran
long.
into a couple of bumps along the way of getting this
Mhm.
this table delivered to us.
Yeah. A few scrapes and scraps. Let's see. This one. What do we got? This thing. I got to move this thing. Blep, blep, blep. We did a lot today. Got a whole episode thing recorded. All right, let's get that going. We got that going. Bup, 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 bup. Beep. Stand by.
I don't know what it is.
What's what?
Is this wood mahogany? Could be.
Mahogany. What is that? Velvet? I don't know. I forget what Jay knows. We'll ask Jay some other time. All right, let me
Definitely
hit.
a dark wood.
It's a yeah. I think it's stained too. It's like,
Yeah.
so it's looks a little darker. All right, here we go. Stand by, everybody.
This fucking guy.
I'm a believer in geomancy. I've seen it work. In my building trades, I have seen what are called dowsers at work. We had a building site there where I was going to build this barn. This guy gets out and he takes out 2 swing rods and he starts walking with the swing rods, holding them in front of him over each of the stakes I had driven in the ground. He's walking, they're just kind of gently swaying back and forth. And I knew that the water main came into the property somewhere along there. So this guy, he goes walking over towards the driveway. All of a sudden, it looked like almost as if somebody had grabbed the ends of those swing rods, yanked them into an X, and then they bent, literally bending down. And then he took a couple of steps off, and they relaxed, straightened up, and went back to just... Then what he did was he walked in a zigzag fashion, and every time he crossed where the water main came in,
I think that's enough.
he'd get...
So what is geomancy? I mean, it literally means earth magic, but it's just dowsing. I mean, I'm sure you could tell that's what this is. You know, you have the dowsing rods, what he calls the slip sticks or whatever, slip rods. And that's it. He's just giving an anecdotal report of why, he's been convinced by people who are doing dowsing. This has been studied for a century. I mean, for decades and decades. This is often one of the first things that skeptical investigators cut their teeth on. I know when James Randi was still around and he was doing his $1 Million Challenge, he said like something like 90% of the people who were applying for the $1 Million Challenge, basically you demonstrate some paranormal ability and you win a bunch of money. 90% of them were dowsers. They're all dowsers of one kind or another. So this is a very, very, very common type of pseudoscience, but it's been studied to death. And it's actually not that hard to study it in a scientific way, because all you got to do is blind the dowser to their target. So if you don't know where the water is, the power suddenly goes away. You are no more likely to get those rods to cross, where there is water or whatever your target is, whether it's moving water or static water or some other mineral or some other target, anything. Whatever your target is, if you don't know what is supposed to happen, then it's random chance. It's completely random chance. If you've never played with any rods like that, just do it. You could very easily show to yourself how easy it is to get them to move. Sometimes it's hard to keep them from moving, but even very subtle movements can cause those rods, to cross. And that can happen from what's called the ideomotor effect, which means that you can subconsciously make subtle motor movements based upon your expectations, right? So if you're thinking, I'm getting close to the water, this is where they're supposed to cross, you could make the rods cross without really being consciously aware that you're the one doing it. It's like the Ouija board effect as well, facilitated communication also works by the ideomotor effect. You're the one moving it. It's not anything else, not some external force, and you're just not aware of it. But again, it's very simple. If it were true, you could easily demonstrate this ability, easily, because all you have to do is just do a blinded experiment, and you could repeatedly show that it was correct. But decades and decades of research have consistently shown there is absolutely no effect going on here. There's no magic. There's no dowsing effect. It's all just the ideomotor effect. It goes away completely when you blind the dowser to their target.
Okay, there we go. Geomancy.
Yeah, the ideo root is not the same as idiot. It's just a coincidence. It's actually IDEO.
Coincidence.
It's IDEO, right? Ideomotor.
Ideo. All right, here we go. Etiquetok. Oop, no. Wrong one. Beep. Stop.
How do you have gas?
All right, here we go. Pressure container. Stand by.
How do you have gas pressure without a container? Nothing? Danny Faulkner, PhD astrophysicist, runs an observatory, and profits from the lies.
Yeah, I wonder if that little tiny clip of video was taken out of context in some way, and if we would learn more about that interaction if we saw the full video, which of course you would. And that professor wrote that this person, the person who's doing the filming of that video, just came up upon him, was harassing him, was being very rude, telling him things like you should kill yourself. He clearly was an unhinged ideologue. And he thought, I'm just not going to say anything because anything I say is going to clip and take out of context. Of course, he just clipped him saying nothing out of context. So very unfair and just complete nonsense. So, but this is a common flat earther kind of gotcha question, as if like no one's ever thought of this before. Like there isn't an actual scientific answer to this. And again, that's the implication here, right? Like this famous scientist can't answer this question. Therefore, there is no answer. That is so intellectually dishonest and disingenuous because it's very easy to find what the answer is. It's, of course, the answer is gravity. The atmosphere is held onto the surface of the Earth by gravity, not because it's being, it's being constrained by a container. One way that we know this is true is that, again, if it were a container, then the pressure would be the same everywhere inside the container. It would equilibrate, right? But it's not. It's gravity, and therefore what you would expect is that the farther away you get from the surface of the Earth, there would be a gradient, right? The pressure would slowly decrease and then slowly fade away. And that's what happens. Anyone who's gone up, to the top of a mountain knows that the air, or just visited Colorado, the air is a lot thinner there. The higher you get above sea level, the less the pressure, the density of the air, just as if it were, gravity holding it in place. So it's very simple. Of course, now sometimes they'll say, well, there is no gravity, which of course now just gets you down this flat earther rabbit hole of, one pseudoscience to explain another pseudoscience to explain another pseudoscience, where it just, gets, nuttier and nuttier the farther you go. So yeah, they think there's no gravity, which I think tells you everything you need to know about their worldview. So no, that's not a gotcha question. It's very easy to explain that the atmosphere of the Earth has pressure due to the gravitational attraction of the atmosphere.
All right, pressure, no container. We did it. We did the thing, y'all.
Okay.
So what do we got to say? There's anything else? No, I think that's it. We got, wait, hold on. Pressure, no container. We'll do next Wednesday, I believe. Next Wednesday normally. The podcast obviously comes out this week. Friday for our patrons. So join our patreon.com/skepticsguide. And also on Saturday, it releases to the public for everyone. Say equilibrate.
Equilibrate.
Oh yeah, you elaborate equally. How do you explain the ocean? Big water. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Yeah, I don't know what else.
I think we're good. We did it.
So if you're considering coming to Nauticon, do and then buy your tickets. There's also LA shows, which is like the hop on the way to Australia.
Yeah, in LA, I think these just went up. We're doing we're doing 2 shows.
Right.
Friday night we're doing. You can get the dates on the website. We're just doing an intimate get together. So those usually go fast. Well, I think we're only selling like 20 tickets.
Yeah, something short.
And then we're just doing one show. We couldn't find a venue for an extravaganza.
Correct.
So we're just doing a private recording of the SGU.
Plus,
but it's not just a private show plus. It's a private show plus extended.
Right.
So the private show is a 2-hour recording of the podcast. A private show plus is a 3-hour show where we have an extra hour of interaction with the audience and stuff that we do. We're doing basically a 5-hour block of time. It'll be 2-hour podcast an hour break for lunch, and then another 2 hours of extra interaction and content and fun stuff. It's kind of incorporating some elements that we would do on the extravaganza. So you're basically getting 2 shows in one because we just couldn't book a second venue.
Just for clarity, we called it SGU Live and Beyond.
And Beyond.
But it
The
is
end Beyond is the extra 2 hours
the
of,
extra
of
2
stuff.
hours.
Yeah.
So that also, yeah.
That's
you
why.
would
So
notice.
why does it cost more than the other?
Right.
That's why, because it's an extra 2
'Cause
hours.
It's an extra 2 hours. Exactly that. So yeah, it's not just a normal show. So yeah, I think that's it. Water finds its level. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week.
Bye. Thanks,
And
everyone.
your
Thank you,
skeptical
Ian.
live stream to the Wednesday or whatever. All right.
Yep.
Bye.